Hello and welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we are going to get into the February general reading for each of the signs. Today is all about Aquarius. So this is your general outlook for February, Aquarius. This is not the love reading that I normally put out. I will be doing a love outlook for the month. But this is just a general reading for you this month. And this is a new series I'm starting. I'm starting with you since it is your birthday month coming up. So let's get right into it, Aquarius. It's going to be a full Celtic spread, and this could be in any area of your life. It's a general reading, so we don't know what the focus is going to be. The focus may be career, or maybe family issues, it may be love, it may be a multitude of things. So whatever the case may be, just take what applies to you. If it doesn't resonate for you, that's fine. This is, of course, just one reading of many readings out there. And, of course, this reading can't be for all Aquarius. All right, guys? So let's check out your general outlook for February 2020. Show me what's going on for February 2020 for the sign Aquarius. Beautiful air sign, the water bearer. Show me. All right, straight out we have the Magician, covered by the Ace of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, at the Seven of Pentacles, excuse me, another Seven of Swords, 3 of Wands, 10 of Swords, Queen of Cups, Death comes in, and your outlook is the Knight of Pentacles. Wow. All right, so the bottom of your deck, you have Lover's energy. We're going to put that right over here. All right, Aquarius, look at this spread for you. Lover's at the bottom of the deck, so certainly a love component to your month. Strong energy in your reading. Let's get right into it. A lot of you are starting your month off with a huge sort of sense of confidence and ability and talent. This month for you, February of Aquarius, you're going to be feeling very much in your own skin. You're going to feel extremely sort of capable. Everything is going to kind of come to you in a very easy way, right? You achieve things in a very easy way, right? You play to your talents this month, right? With the Magician there at the center of the reading, the Magician is the card for a high level of talent. And so, yeah, February is all about you sort of whatever skill it is you have, Aquarius, right? So this could be if you're an artist, or this could be in a certain field, in a certain career, right? It could be that you are an architect or a financier, or that you are a director or a project manager, whatever the case may be. This month you are sort of on fire, right? Your skills are coming to you very naturally. Everything, there seems to be a real synergy to it all. Everyone around you seems to see you accomplishing things as if by magic. This is often the energy of the Magician. And you're covered with an Ace of Pentacles, so you have a new sort of golden opportunity coming in for you this month, Aquarius. Some of you, this opportunity is definitely going to be an opportunity that's going to bring a lot of abundance, right? It is going to certainly be a new path, perhaps in your career or in your business, but it's an opportunity that comes into you that is one of these sort of opportunities where all the potential is there for a huge amount of return, right? Whenever we deal with an ace of a card, it's the essence of that suit. And so the essence of a sort of the material world of abundance, of manifesting abundance. And so for some of you this month, you are really going to be making some very powerful moves financially, career-wise, right? They're going to be new, but they're going to be power moves. To couple Magician energy with Ace of Pentacles is really, really strong, Aquarius. In the focus of your mind, right, you have a 2 of Pentacles, and in the back of your mind, you have a 7 of Pentacles. Well, Two of Pentacles is all about change. So you're really going to be focusing this month in the front of your mind. There's going to be a lot of sort of upheaval and change. I think obviously because of this new opportunity, this new business opportunity coming in, or career move, right? It's whatever this opportunity is. It's definitely a new pathway to a heavy amount of abundance that could be coming in. But there's a big change right now. It could be that you are resonating up, or you're leveling up from a certain financial position. It could be that up until now, you may have been struggling a bit, or you may have just been maybe not even struggling, right? Maybe you've been doing quite well for yourself, but the level that you resonate up to this February, some of you with this Magician and Ace of Pentacles, it causes still a lot of change, right? A lot of flux. You may be moving. You may be changing bank accounts. You may be changing a lot of things around you as a result of this new opportunity. If it's a new opportunity in career, it could be that you have to travel for it, right? Travel for this new job, or that part of the job is traveling on a regular basis, right? And so now you're having to think about two properties at once, and there's a lot of flux, there's a lot of change going on this February, but it's very positive. The money is there. In the back of your mind, you do have a Seven of Pentacles, and that's really a feeling of I'm going to say for some of you, it is a feeling in the back of your mind of sort of reevaluating your achievements so far. What have you achieved so far, and are you happy with it? Do you feel like a sense of failure there, that you haven't really reached what you wanted to reach? Or is it that some of the rewards have been coming in? Yes, now they're coming in, but they're not what you expected them to be, right? Or perhaps they don't make you happy in the way that you thought that they would. Seven of Pentacles is a real sort of reevaluation, right? It's a real feeling of reevaluating what it is you're doing for a living, or how you bring your money in, and how satisfactory that is. How satisfying is the work that you're doing right now for you. Right? And a lot of times this can also be a reevaluating of your career as well, and saying, well, am I really happy with this career? Am I really happy with what I'm getting out of it? And this is very much in the back of your mind. It's quite interesting because it could very well be for a lot of you Aquarius that this new opportunity coming in is really offering you a chance to make a huge change. And part of the change that you're feeling this month that's really in the focus of your mind, the forefront of your mind, or we consider this the conscious position, is the amount of change that's involved, right? But still, you're like, well, it's worth it because I'm not really sure I'm happy where I've been at anyway, right? So this is a real big sort of move for a lot of you guys, and I think it's going to be an extremely powerful move because in any case, all of this energy is really playing to your talents. In whatever field that you're in, you are... It's not like this opportunity hasn't come because you don't deserve it. You are absolutely the best person for it. You're going to make the best out of it. And it is going to feel rather easy to you because to a certain degree, it's already playing to a high level of skill and talent that you have in a particular area anyway. It's like if you are, say you're an architect and you're really a shit hot architect and it's very easy for you, but you have this, you have this ability to create all of these beautiful things. It could be an opportunity coming into you that resonates that sort of professional career line for you up. But what they're asking you to do is so right up your alley anyway. It's something you're so naturally good at, and of course you've mastered, that it's not like, it's not like this is going to be a huge challenge for you either. This is going to feel very much comfortable for you. You're going to feel very much at ease. And that's a really nice place to be when you're in a career, when you've mastered whatever skill you have to such a degree that when you get to a high level, there's always some nervousness there because you want to, clearly you're a perfectionist, you want to bring your A game, but it always feels good when you are doing something you're good at, you can just sort of pour all your creative talent into, and it will turn out good. And this feels like that. Now you come into this month with a Seven of Swords, you round it off with a Three of Wands. The Seven of Swords is the card for treachery and futility. So I wonder, it's very interesting. You may have indeed, up until now, been dealing with some people in your life who have really sort of, they may have made you feel a little bit like you weren't the magician that you are, that you weren't as skilled at what you're doing. It's interesting because this card is so much a card of someone who is close to you and who oftentimes wants to have what you have. They could be a very negative force in your life, sort of behind the scenes. Oftentimes the negativity that these type of people or individuals bring into a relationship is hidden, because on the surface they seem to pretend to be your friends, or they seem to pretend to care. Sometimes it can be a really toxic energy where they indeed do care about you and love you, but they're almost like a sycophant. And so they love you, but they have issues, right? They're very toxic. So at the same time, while loving you, they are extremely envious of you and very covetous, and they want what you have. And this is kind of the flip side to obsession in a lot of ways. Somebody can be obsessed with you, but that can turn very quickly to sort of anger and desire, envy and jealousy. You know what I'm saying? So this is a very toxic card for a person. You can be resonating with this energy, and that's generally when you're trying to attempt to achieve something and it really doesn't work, because the person who's doing all of this, what they're trying to achieve, they never really achieve. They're trying to sort of achieve a high level of self-confidence, self-esteem by stealing things from other people and not working for them, right? So that's why this card on the flip side is the card for futility. Because if you resonate with this kind of toxic energy, you never really achieve your goal. However, on the other side, if you're a victim of somebody who's doing this to you, they can still have a negative impact on your life. They may not be achieving what they want to achieve, but they can certainly achieve a certain level of chaos and disruption. Their actions against you can absolutely affect you, right? And they can really fuck up your life, and you can find yourself like, sometimes the way this pans out is that you find out that perhaps a close friend of yours has really been saying one thing to other people and another thing to you. And, at some point, some kind of proof sort of comes out, right? And these people, generally, you do find out about them, but once you realize this energy is there, once you find out about it, it's always quite a shock, because like I said, it's usually somebody who's very close to you. And so it's interesting that you would come into the month with this, Aquarius. I would say for some of you, watch out for this energy. Watch out for somebody who may be seeing you get this opportunity coming in, and they're going to be very, very envious of you, very jealous. They may be, like I said, beginning to work behind the scenes to sort of disrupt this opportunity in some way. So just watch out about this. The energy is there. You do round this month off with a 3 of Wands, right? And 3 of Wands is definitely a feeling of being forced to perhaps stand still for a moment and take a look at the lay of the land so that you know what your next decision is going to be. All of this is happening very quickly in terms of your career this month, your business, your abundance, your financial stability. Yet and still there is a creative move, because Wands is to do with creativity. And there is still a creative side of you, or the side of you that is really trying to follow your life's passion, right? Because this is about career, right? This can be a source of passion for you, but with 3 of Wands, we're talking about your overall vision for your life. And so planning that far ahead, thinking that far ahead, later on this month, you will be forced to sort of stand still a bit. 3 is the number for virtue, bonding, and loyalty, and patience is a virtue. So 3 of Wands is the card for patience. So have patience, right? Have patience towards the end of the month. Allow some of this change and flux that you're going through to sort of even out and settle out. Your attitude this month that you're bringing in to your life and everything is really beautiful. It's a 10 of Swords. So your attitude is that you realize you're coming to the end of a period in your life where you've been struggling a lot. I think this Ace of Pentacles is a real culmination for some of you who have been working for probably, a significant amount of time towards a goal, right? You may have had to take a lot of knocks to your ego. You may have had to deal with a lot of times people telling you you couldn't do it, or people sort of, putting obstacles in your way, and you sort of having to sort of, really work twice as hard to get over them. It's just been a real struggle, right? But Ten of Swords is the end of that period, and you can see that the body of the old ego of you, Aquarius, is laying there, is dead. Who you were during that time is not who you are now. You've risen, you've sort of leveled up, you've resonated up to a certain degree. Your ego ideally would have gotten smaller. And the type of things that people have done to you in the past, oftentimes the Ten of Swords marks an end to those types of things being able to hurt you in the future, right? Because you've been through it and you've learned what you needed to learn. And so your ego can't be hurt by that anymore. And this is what we mean by a new ego sort of rising out of this. This is a really nice attitude towards sort of moving forward. And you're met with a Queen of Cups energy. And this is quite nice because here we see an element of sort of a love connection or a fond sort of exchange of emotional sort of expression. The Queen of Cups is someone who is very emotionally healthy and stable, someone who is able to go deeper, to express themselves on a deeper level. They're very receptive. They're very giving. Queen of Cups is water of water, so you have somebody who's extremely emotional. You can see by her cup that what she offers is really special and unique. It's the most unique cup in the deck, and this is also, something that you can look at to see in terms of, reminding yourself exactly how unique you are and how special you are. A lot of the times I go into explaining some of the cards because it's the visual connection to what I'm saying and to the interpretations that can stay with you sometimes. And sometimes this is what can open up your third eye to sort of other symbols in your life. You may, in your day-to-day life, see a beautiful cup and it reminds you of this energy. So it's very important to sort of have this visual connection. This is why sometimes I take a little bit of time to explain to you the symbols on the actual tarot cards, to have that extra layer of connection. And anyway, somebody was asking me about that, so I wanted to put that in there as an answer. But in any case, the Queen of Cups is very, very special indeed, and this is sort of an energy that comes to meet you this month. Now, I do believe that this is an individual that comes into you that is, just very sort of warm and receptive, and it could be a connection to this lover's energy in the sense that it does feel very much, Aquarius, like this month for you, you're having a beautiful resonating up in your career and in your sort of creative self-confidence. You're able to make that change you wanted to make, but also you're inviting in, or you're certainly all of this good energy that's around you is really opening up the doors, not only to the end of a difficult stage in your life, but also perhaps to the beginning of a love connection coming in. Lovers, they're two people who really meet in a harmonious way, and it could be that this is just really the perfect time for some of you also to invite in a love connection, especially since a very difficult and trying time of your life is now over. You feel that it's really truly over and behind you. This is sometimes the best time to invite in a new love because we've healed, we've resonated up a bit, we've become more confident, and we're healthy, Certainly we want to be at the end of a difficult stage in our lives before we welcome in a new sort of connection and the work that's involved, because lovers does indicate that there's work involved in relationships, right? And that there is a give and take and an understanding that although you are equal, you are not exactly the same, right? You're different people. Nevertheless, this Queen of Cups comes into you, and I think that feels very nice in terms of somebody coming in for you this month who sees that you are really sort of getting into a happier space, and they really want to sort of They want to come closer to you. They certainly want to open themselves up to you to a deeper level of connection, to exchanging and maybe talking about some deeper feelings. Death comes in for you this month, and it's something it's in the position of your hopes and dreams and your fears. And so all of this change is something that you really have desired. I think like I said, I think you've been working towards this for quite some time. And so, of course, the change is what you've always wanted, the transformation. Yet at the same time, it's a bit frightening for you, right? It's a bit scary to go through it. which is why this position in the Celtic spread is really interesting, because it can occupy both, our hopes and dreams and our fears. And oftentimes our hopes and dreams are a source of anxiety and fear for us in other ways. Nevertheless, the change is coming anyway, Aquarius. Death comes in, and it's something that we can't really stop. It's not a physical death in the tarot. It's a transformation of our lives from what is old and stagnant and no longer growing or has room for growth into a new phase where everything is sort of rebooted, reborn, right? The death, the old and the dying is gone. And so we have the seeds of the new opportunities are around us, new abilities to grow, right? And this is what's happening here for you, certainly for some of you. And this is going to really involve, like I said, a huge step forward financially in your career, in your business, something you've been working for some time. And you round out your month with a Knight of Pentacles, which is nice, strong energy in the sense that you are absolutely sort of on your next journey, right? So on to move to the next level that you're trying to achieve. It could be that you have been working for some time to get to a certain level in your company or to a certain level in your business, and you achieve that this month. This new opportunity comes in to really take you down that particular path, or a new opportunity comes in to take you down a completely different path that is something that you are happier with, right? It could be that you may have been working for the same company for some time and you realize that you actually don't want to just rise up in the ranks. You actually don't want to work in that company anymore. You haven't really been happy there. You realize there's only so far you can go. This new opportunity could be an opportunity for you to go with a completely different track, a completely different company, or a different sort of path in your career that takes you to a different type of company. So there's a lot of different ways this Ace of Pentacles can play out, but it's certainly playing out in the sense that by the end of the month with that Knight of Pentacles, you are firmly on this new path, right? You've committed to this new path. You've committed to whatever this new path, this new opportunity, sort of the path this new opportunity has set for you, right? That's what you've committed to. And it's a really beautiful thing, and it's something that is exciting for you, certainly. Certainly means, like I feel for a lot of you, it's definitely a leveling up in your career, in your financial stability and base. You're definitely going to have more financial abundance coming in, right? You're definitely going to be able to do more things with your creative expression in terms of, you need the money, right? So now you're leveling up. So you're going to be able to do a lot more with the other side of your life where you're feeling very creative, which may have been on the back burner for a little while you're getting your career sort of where you want it to be. Some of you might be able to merge the two finally in the way that you've always wanted to. In any case, this is a really beautiful move forward. Just watch out for that Seven of Swords. Let's pull some clarity for your cards. And then we're going to call this your general reading for February for Aquarius. Now, I wouldn't be surprised when I do your February love reading that the reading could touch on a relationship that is impacted by your career, because your career is so highly figuring here. The Fool, there you go. It's a new path, the universe. Wow. You have Four of Swords, being strategic here, and the Seven of Cups. So another seven, that's your third seven. And here we have the Seven of Cups, which is really sort of Nine of Wands at the bottom of the Thoth deck, and we'll leave that right here. So that's interesting. Do your clarifiers. I'll get back to the Seven of Cups. There's your Fool. So yes, this is a change. This is a change for you because you're going down a whole new path, and this is what I feel strongly that for you, some of you Aquarius, this February is going to mark the start of a whole new adventure for you, right? An adventure with regard to perhaps your career or your business. Like I said, it's going to feel very new for you, but it's not like, it's definitely a higher level, right? You're going to be operating at a higher status or a higher social, financial status. You can see the Tiger of Fear is like has no impact on the Fool. And the Fool here in the Thoth deck really reminds us that this oftentimes is a quantum leap that we're going through in terms of you having learned a huge amount of information, having a quantum leap in your experience, understanding, and wisdom, which makes a lot of sense because you're resonating as a magician this month where you're really on top of your game, right? And also sort of the beginning of a whole new journey where we again are sort of the student, right? It feels really strong and beautiful. Seven of Pentacles is covered with the universe. So right now, yeah, it feels very much like this opportunity is coming in a very destined way. The universe talks about, fate having its eyes on you. And it seems that, yeah, you haven't been very happy. Perhaps you haven't been very happy where you've been at most recently. You've been starting to sort of really feel like you're, maybe disenchanted or disillusioned, or you're just not where you had desired you would be. You may be feeling a sense of failure a little bit here and there, and wanting to just break out of that. And so here comes the universe with this opportunity, and it really feels very much like this was meant to be, right? And so for a lot of you Aquarius, this is feeling like a very sort of like a destiny, thing, right? Like it was always meant for you to get this opportunity and for you to follow this opportunity, which is another reason why I think it's going to feel very exciting for you. I think it's another reason why you're feeling like this is a Ten of Swords month, because this kind of leveling up and this kind of new adventure, it's like one of those things I say in a lot of my videos, that once you level up like this, you don't ever go all the way back down to the base you were at before. It's like when you reach certain levels of success or certain levels of financial stability or what have you, the ball has well and truly rolled, and it's like you don't ever really go all the way back down again. You may lose and have to rebuild yourself, but you would never have to sort of rebuild yourself all the way from where you started from scratch, right? These are sort of stages and levels that you attain in life, and you don't really lose them, unless you completely, throw caution to the wind. But in this case, it feels like that, and it feels very much like, and this is why this Ten of Swords is here. You absolutely feel like the worst of your time is really behind you. The worst of your struggling is truly behind you. You have arrived in a lot of ways. Now, the Seven of Swords, I told you, is the card for treachery, and Four of Swords is the card for sort of calling a truce, being very strategic. So again, this is why I say be very careful in February with the decisions that you're making. Try not to be rash. Try not to sort of try not to cut corners. Again, Seven of Swords is the card for futility as well. And if some of you are just getting kind of swept up in what's going on here, and you're trying to cut, like maybe you're trying to cut some corners with something, don't do it. Right? This is also sort of a warning for you to, employ a little bit of strategy, employ a little bit of thinking for a moment, maintaining the stability you already have. Things can get very exciting right now. Could be that people, again, around you may be sort of encouraging you to cut certain corners, right? Now's not the time to do that. And you'll know what I mean when the situation, presents itself. You'll know what I mean by that. You still, no matter how things, because right now things will be, in February, things will be happening quite fast with that Two of Pentacles. That's a very fast sort of change that happens, a lot of ups and downs. Your best bet during this period is to remain very cool, very calm and collected. Everything will work out. And try not to be pressured or try not to be rushed into making any decisions, and take your time to make the decisions you need to make to maintain your stability. Three of Wands is covered with the Seven of Cups. And again, when I said earlier about patience before you make your next move, Seven of Cups talks about, really being disillusioned, having sort of really thrown exactly that, caution to the wind, being very debauched and excessive, right? Just being, not being careful, not being prudent, right? And believing that this is going to sort of, this can go on forever, It's a very sort of delusional way of thinking. It's very unrealistic, right? And so Seven of Cups talks about unrealistic ideas that we have about situations, and then, they don't pan out that way, right? We find out that, that was never going to go that way, and invariably it sours, the situation stagnates. So be very careful, and this is why this has come up again with Three of Wands towards the end of the month. Take your time and be patient with making your next decision, and try to be very sort of grounded and realistic. It can be that this whole sort of opportunity that comes in, the way it comes in for you, it may be very strong for some of you, Aquarius, and really sort of just sweep you off your feet. And these cards here are just really reminding you to remain grounded. This could be very exciting for some of you. This could even involve perhaps a certain level of fame suddenly coming in, and it really sort of getting to your head. And that's all normal, but just be very careful so that you can maintain all of this going forward, and you can have a long-term. Knight of Pentacles indicates a long-term career, long-term path, where you're methodically progressing towards your ultimate goal. It's a very positive card, and it's certainly a card that can indicate that for some of you, if you have arrived in a certain career, it's going to last for quite some time. You'll be able to carry on with it, but just be careful with the decisions that you make now, and try not to get too caught up with everything. And remember that, there still needs to be some grounding to the situation. Nine of Wands is here at the bottom, just to remind you that this still needs strength. You still need a certain amount of strength to get through this actual change, right? I would say that this will all probably stabilize in March, April for some of you who are going through this, but February will be the month of change. So just remain strong and realize that things are still all up in the air, And until they completely sort of are cemented and committed, and, everything is put in place, everything is still up in the air. And this is the time to be the strongest, the most careful, the most strategic, so that when all the chips fall and all the cards are on the table, you are in this really strong, beautiful position to move forward with this new path in your career. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. This is your February general outlook for what you may be going through in the month for Aquarius. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like, subscribe, and share. Check out your other readings, 2020 outlooks, your monthly love readings. They're all linked in the description. If you want to book a reading, you can follow the links at the top of your screen. If you are an international booker of your schedule, you live in an international country, you live in a different country from the U.S. and you're trying to book it internationally, just email me, because some countries the telephone number isn't accepted. It's a little bit tricky. So you just email me and I can schedule your booking. All right, guys. So for right now, have a wonderful, wonderful February. And for some of you, this is going to be a great, great month of expanding your abundance, your career, your social, financial status. It's going to be very nice. All right, Aquarius, enjoy, and I'll see you in March for your general reading. Bye-bye now.